Obujama ma adwo na me ma akwa aba emfa wo bra Sedea Etea Nie adwumadie so ewo AdomTV so ye frame da che hene nana ya wo asante kai se Dominic Siebo a o ma hene kwabra asante ene AC o hene sampanyifo ena mo bɔ me ho ban ebo ma dontene na memre de bia nwumre ye transe na edi adwumadie ebrawo ene ya sese adwumadie nani kakra esane se nsem ahodo a esisi ewo Ghana ya manyoku ahodo a ewo Oma yimu na ene yewura NDC amanyokuo ni mu esanse na wotwi mu a na nkrata bi beto abonten a kire se General Secretary ora fiavi kwete etro nkrata edikodan na se bedwam chiame hene a wo ho se eyade a eba no NDC amanyokuo ni mu a omo sesa omo leadership na se kandifo a edi omunim e o na se bedwam no eyade a omo sisemu we akwakofa nchini wahyew ene nsem bebre na ena aba ma titeni oda amanyoko na no eye General Sedea Etea ono aba ede nsem bi aba betudwa yentie ni nsem no mra.
Yes, we sent a senior person in the party to engage them and let them know that this is the way we are going to handle it. Naturally, it will not be a pleasant news, but at least you need to give them the respect. So we communicated to them before writing the letters to them. And apart from the letter we have written to Mr. Speaker, each of them has been written a special letter acknowledging their contributions whilst they were in the leadership, and then thanking them and assuring them that the change has nothing to do with their competence or otherwise, but it has everything to do with the changing times and the changing field. And so that's about it.
When you are able to join not to say, I was a nipa who do and craty a farm, Ucom Shebe Jemua, Honorable Haruna, Ewo, Ono, and a year Chamihene Edema, Don Kumane, Wahon, Sansona, Muntaka Mubarak, and so a year ship. And some you buy any probably now, and I try and I say, I saw more people say, or see ye not safely near New Mudin Como. Now, send ye no man call ye in Nipa who do and some farm who share or no Nipa who fry a deal more a year at 2 forcing, and in the animal who do a deal more banner. Almost so a press conference, I can send say.
Our first responsibility is to unite the caucus, and that will be number 1 on the agenda. Things of this nature happens, but obviously there's the need for us to show leadership, and we will do just that. Most importantly, I will focus the next month. To tackle 3 things. First, I wish to first of all send a message to the MPP that the people of Ghana are calling on them to downsize their government, to reflect the mood of the country. You are asking people to forgo their coupons or interest. You are asking the ordinary Ghanaian to sacrifice his payout. And so therefore, if His Excellency the President intends to reshuffle his government, let it be known that we in the NDC will not accept an attempt to increase the size of government. And if the current size of his ministers increase by 1, that 1 person may not receive our cooperation. And in the end, we also wish to assure the people of Ghana that as part of our engagement with the Finance Committee and the Health Committee, we have agreed to do public hearing on the audit of the COVID-19 expenditure, public hearing, beginning on the 7th of February 2023. At that point, we will pay due diligence to the duties given to us as the people of Ghana.
Newie ye no na muntaka enso ne mnahye bedwam enkrofo dodo maako be se eduoso enkono a omoso ede omonsa ahye nkrata se a omatwero nkrata de akokoma party mpanyefo se sansem ye omode atodwana anya de a omobo adwoso ntyanka be ya omonhwe na saa krata no omontwentwen so kopem se wono ebeye womnu primaries ewie empo ansana so be yensakraye a watumi aye nsakraye.
As you are no doubt aware, there have been certain happenings in the NDC caucus front in Parliament, and some of us met today and then decided to draw the attention of our national executive on the way to sort out these matters. We would have been many more than this. About 70 people have signed a petition that we are going to summarize to you. But some of them had consented, even though they are still in their constituencies and are not yet here. Even this morning when we met, we were about 40 who met in the auditorium to take this, to concretize on this decision. And then, so it's a very short press conference that we are going to indicate. Let us start from the very word go, that we have confidence in our national executive and we respect them as such. But a few days ago, our attention has been drawn to a letter addressed to the Speaker of Parliament, indicating that the leadership of the minority caucus has been reshuffled. We are on recess. By the Speaker's invitation, we are returning on the 7th of February 2023. So we are not yet in the House. But because of the exigencies of this situation, that is why some of us have rushed back to be able to participate in this. Against that background too, is this when the Speaker reads the letter to Parliament, the letter he has received from the Secretary of the party that indicating the reshuffle. It is when that letter is read to members of the House that it can take effect. As at now, we are already said we are not there. So as far as we are concerned, the current leaders of the House, Honorable Haruna Idrisu Muntaka and co, are deemed to still be in office. Now, the purpose of this press conference, as I've indicated, is to try to maintain cohesion in the party, is to try to ensure that we remain as a body, that we still are an appealing group to the Ghanaian populace, and that they should trust us for December 2024. So our petition is going to the Council of Elders of the NDC. We are petitioning the Council of Elders of the NDC with a copy to the National Executive, with a copy to the Speaker of Parliament, and a copy of the said petition to the former flag bearer, Honorable John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The basis for our petition is a prayer to suspend the reshuffle indicated by the National Executive of the party until such time, signed by the General Secretary of the party. The petition is signed by the General Secretary of the party. The basis of our petition is to appeal to them to suspend the suspension exercise until such time that there's a holistic meeting of stakeholders and consultation before we take a decision. We are saying so against the backdrop that the National Executive Committee of the party a few weeks ago decided that all appointees in the party and in Parliament should remain in office until after we have concluded the parliamentary primaries and the flag bearer primaries on the 13th of May this year. That all office holders and appointees should remain in office until the primaries are over. We are therefore surprised that the primaries are not yet taken place, they are not yet over, and a reshuffle is hitting the caucus of Parliament. We think that that is premature. We have also investigated and discovered that the Functional Executive Committee, FEC, and the National Executive Committee, NEC, including the Council of Elders, did not have a formal meeting to take a decision on this matter. And then, of course, the caucus as a body was not consulted on this matter. And we think that that is quite not well in place. It is against the backdrop of this that we are humbly appealing to the National Executive of the party that they should suspend their current action and let the current officers, Haruna and his team, remain in office until such time that the primaries are over and we have a holistic stakeholder consultation before we decide on the way forward. In that case, the current executive that we, as I said, are still in office, should remain in office and steer the affairs of the caucus until such time that we advise ourselves. We want to pledge our support to the party. We are committed to the party. We are committed to the focus of the caucus to assist the party in the coming elections in December 2024 so that we can form government. So we are saying this without prejudice to the merits of those who have been appointed. No. We know that we are all members of parliament, we are all competent. Dr. Foster Ato, and then Kwame Aboja, and then Ama Abua are very good parliamentarians. We have nothing against them. We trust them. But we are saying that the timing is not appropriate. The timing for a reshuffle now is not appropriate. And that the consequences are very, very grave for us and could negatively affect our fortunes come December 2024. It is against this background, the fact that there was no adequate and proper consultation within the ranks of the party, that we think that they should reconsider and suspend the current reshuffle until such time that we hold a meeting. Thank you very much.
Well, just to add, colleagues, just to add that we are equally concerned that the letters that were issued were not the decision of the party. Our party, as NDC, has about 4 decision-making group structures. First, the Congress, where all delegates meet to take decision. Second is the National Executive Committee, that's NEC. And then third is the Functional Executive Committee. It is when this group take decision, then you get the General Secretary and the principal officers implement. Then we also have the Council of Elders, even though our constitution says that they are advisory. Sometimes, periodically, they also give directions, and then the party tries to implement. We are firm, because I serve as on FEC, I serve on NEC, I go to Council of Elders as an observer, and I'm also on the political committee as an observer. Congress, all of us as members of parliament are members of Congress. And the minority leader is also on all these levels. At no such meeting was there any agenda to discuss this. So it is clear that it is a letter, yes, written by the General Secretary, but the decision may be just the decision of some few people in the party. And we believe that our party should sit up, because Article 55 of the 1992 Constitution is very clear. It says that everything that we do must follow democratic principles. So we want to urge the General Secretary, and the most shocking part of it is that we were never consulted. I mean, I heard some of the officers saying that some elders were sent to talk to us. I'll be very happy to be mentioned which elder was sent to me to talk to me, because nobody spoke to me. And without casting any insinuation and also creating doubt on the capability of our colleagues, Honorable Atufosin, Honorable Kwame Aboja, and Honorable Amako Fibua. These are our colleagues. I mean, we've been working very closely together, those of you who report from this house. And myself, Honorable Aveji, and the leader himself, Honorable Redisu, we will have to be grateful to this caucus. Any day they decide that, oh, we've had enough of you, maybe we want to change direction, we want to change energy, we want to change steam, we would be thankful for the opportunity given us. Because how were we put into office? I'll just recap. In 2021, the party led by the then national chairman, Honorable Ofoso Ampofo, and the General Secretary came to our caucus meeting. They came and then names were sealed, so suggested names. And I remember very well, the first question they asked the General Caucus was, do you want to retain your leadership or you want to change them? And there was a row, applause, that no, we want to maintain them. Even that, they said they wanted to be sure, because there were some other names that were also coming up. Each regional caucus was asked to go back and, having the names that had come up, consider what their choice, seal it in an envelope and give it to the national party, which is exactly what happened. So it was taken to the political committee, it was summarized, and then there was another caucus meeting to announce the decision from the various 16 regional caucuses. I want to say that this is consultation, and this is the caucus electing its leaders. I'm sorry to say that you have youth organizers in our party, they meet to elect their leaders. Women organizers meet to elect their leaders. And it is shocking for parliamentarians to be told that leaders are choosing for them. I have served, this was my third term in the leadership. There was not a single time that I was written to that I've been appointed as so and so to serve in any capacity in parliament. And we know the natural justice, and the laws of our country. If you cannot write a letter to appoint, how can you write a letter to disappoint? We don't want this controversy at this time, or the letter to dismiss. I want to also remind some of the officers about our 1992 Constitution, Article 296, where when discretion is given you, that discretion, how it should be used.
Exercise.
So how should be exercised? So we don't want to create enmity among us unnecessarily, but we believe that the right process should be done. Yeah. And believe me, if the right process is done, you come to the caucus, regional caucus will resolve that they want to change their leaders or they want to change some of the positions. We will be very happy and we will thank them for the opportunity to serve. Because the very day that some of us were appointed into leaders, we knew there would be a day that you have to exit for others to come, because we took over from others. So there's no doubt about that. Our plea is that when this petition gets to the Council of Elders, we hope that they will help fast track a reconciliation and a meeting that will help us resolve all this before Parliament resumes, so that we don't have to saddle ourselves with this controversy. When MPP is really messing up completely, there are so many issues that we need to be focusing, which this is not the time for us to be focusing in the internal division among us, and I don't think that's healthy for us at all.
Yakwaya yaba yetwa enkomo no so ewa ha omo nwie na uko party headquarters honorable Kissel ato forcing and so any general secretary of that party na no sanso na chairman na other party na no and so a press conference omo de sansem we etudwa.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have just come out from a very successful meeting with the leadership of our party. We came here first to thank them, obviously, for the honor shown us and the confidence that they believe that we are the ones to lead the minority in Parliament. We have also recognized that the work that they've given to us will require dedication and obviously a lot more than just sitting there. So we have said that we will deliver on just that. And then obviously we have agreed with the leadership of our party that beginning from today there will be a series of activities that we will be undertaking. The minority caucus will have a maiden meeting with our leadership and the party leadership on Tuesday 31st of January 2023. It is our hope that on that meeting we'll resolve all outstanding concerns. And we also wish to assure our former leaders that this leadership will work with them in good faith. And we know obviously that the Honorable Harun's leadership chalked a lot of successes, and we recognize that all of us are product under his leadership. Honorable Muntaka is a stalwart, and we in this leadership will often defer to them as long as decisions are concerned and to seek their input before final decisions will be made. We believe that this team will deliver the NDC a victory from the parliamentary side. And we are determined to do just that. As I've said, beginning from today, we have announced a roadmap, and we will execute just that. And I can only say that the MPP should rather get ready. The focus shouldn't be on our reshuffle. The focus should be on what we will do as a political party to better the lot of the people of Ghana. And that is why we are here today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media, we thank you for your presence here on behalf of the National Democratic Congress. We want to use this opportunity to extend our gratitude to the millions of our followers all over this country for the continued show of faith and support to the leadership of the party. We are here because of them. We've been elected by them and to work on their behalf. We are heartened and gladdened by the fact that they continue to stand firmly behind us as leaders. And they are fully conscious of the fact that we are here for just one thing, to do everything we can to ensure that this political party remains a solid vehicle to be able to deliver its mandate of ensuring that we have a great nation, a great and strong nation.
We consider this as unnecessary and irrelevant because we don't think it is going to work. They are just only trying to test the waters, and we are not going to sit down for this thing to happen because we suffered before they got to where they are now. So we are not going to leave anything unturned for them to do whatever they want to do to just destroy our party, because NDC suffered. People died in the name of NDC, for NDC to be where it is right now. So we are not going to sit aloof and look at them to do whatever they are trying to do right now.
Before a change is made, you need to get some lapses in the current leaders. And I'll recall when after the election, 2020 elections, NDC have 126 parliamentarians, MPP have 138. But due to the hard work of the leadership, they were able to manage and get the speaker for the party. How come leaders who were able to manage and get a speaker for opposition party for the first time in the history of Ghana be changed without any reason?
Started 1992, Mundanya majority leader, Munukuna has a majority leader. Katikara, Japan, NDC, Katikara majority. Katilanga, Mbappe, Mundanya majority leader, Alentile majority leader. Katikara, which is supposed to be one of the current majority leader. Mundanya majority leader, Alentile majority leader. Traveling capital. So to understand why Katikana to pass to the man, Lawyer Haruna is a member of Parliament for Tamansa. Kartipa Muna, Kamungo minority, can so come appreciate one number chati minority. The Bamba White Kapama, that was one of the year. Tama, the man the Lazima. I said, Katiaman 50 quoted.
We are in my opposition now, so we have never had such a thing before. During NDC regime, it was I've Baldwin who was minority, and then when the party came to power, he was majority, and yet he is the Speaker of Parliament. So how come is it that it came to Haruna and you people are telling us that he should step down? You are changing the minority leader. We are telling you people, without minority leader, Haruna Idrisu, no any other minority. We don't want any minority leader apart from Haruna Idrisu.
When I said a few, even if it's a decision taken by National Executive Committee, it's still a few compared to executive at all regional levels, executive at all constituency levels, executive at all branch levels.
Don't make mistake to come to Amitama South. When you come to Taman South, we'll show you that, and then we are popular. I'm telling you honestly.
ena mre ene nkrabia be mam kwan mam de adwumadie ni nyina si ye frem da che hene nana yawo asante Dominic Isiebu a o ma hene kwabra asante ene yesi ohene ena bua me mam de adwumadie yi ebrewo na wotwe senne ye betena se the NDC at the crossroad in various constituencies ye kohwe MPs ben ena ebelusu won seats MPs ben ena be file hwamu ono maye ma adweso mu nkobiom de nti ena mu nko sa akansi enye ombedi nkomo ne ye hu sania ade na nkasa no etie ebusu ama menya wa good evening